As gardeners, we always have a really long to-do list. There's always 15 things that need to be done in the garden, and sometimes it can feel really overwhelming. This can then lead to procrastination. The problem with that is that sometimes the quality of our gardening journey, for want of a better word, can be directly related to doing the things we need to do at the time they needed to be done. So today I wanted to talk about 5 ways to beat procrastination. Hi, my name is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here. It can be really easy to procrastinate on things that need to be done in the garden simply because there's a really long to-do list. One of my main ways of busting out of that procrastination is to shorten my to-do list. I'll say, right, there's one thing I'm going to get done today. There might be 10 things that really should be on my to-do list, but today I'm just going to do one. And what then happens is I'm out in the garden, I'm doing that one thing. At worst, I get one thing done that wouldn't have been done if I was continuing to procrastinate. At best, it actually leads on to me doing more than just that one thing. So I might get 2 things done, I might get 5 things done, who knows. But at worst, I get one thing done that needed to be done. And if I get another one thing done tomorrow, then that's even better. Getting one thing done a day is better than nothing's done a day because you think that there's too much to do. So the second way that I beat procrastination is that I just get the things ready for whatever the job is. So I might need to sow a whole lot of seeds, or I might need to prune at my lemonade tree. And I can't quite get myself around to actually doing it. So I go, okay, I'll go and find my loppers because I'm actually not sure where they are. Or I know my seeds are in 4 different places. I'm going to have to get them all together. So I just say, okay, I'm going to go and get my seeds together and work out what the things are that I'm going to sow. And so again, at worst, I work out where the loppers are. And at worst, I have all my seeds in one spot. But at best, it actually leads on to more action, because that's what a lot of this stuff is about. It's about a small action that will then lead on to more action. But at worst, it's a small action that you can then replicate tomorrow. The third way is everybody talks about this. Everybody who talks about procrastination talks about this, is just doing 5 minutes, just doing 2 minutes, whatever the thing is. So there might be a number of plants that you need to pot up. Just pot up one. And if you pot up another one tomorrow and another one the day after that, then you've actually made headway. Whereas if you procrastinate on it because you've got 10 to do and you don't want to do 10 right now, then you get nothing done. But if you just do one today, that's one that you didn't have done yesterday. So just doing 5 minutes, just planning to do that one really small thing can adds up to more and more and more. Now this fourth one, you need to have some parameters around it. So what I will sometimes do is actually watch a YouTube video of an inspiring gardener. So for me, that's Jessica Sowards from Roots and Refuge Farm. I will actually find one of her videos, and it won't be a how-to. You know, if I've got to sow some seeds or something, it won't be watching her sow seeds. It'll be just sort of a general chit-chatty video or a garden tour or something that inspires me to go out into my garden. The thing with Jess is that she's very romantic about the garden. She waxes poetic a lot about all the things in gardening, and so it inspires me to just spend time in my garden. But you have to put some parameters around that. You watch one video, right, I'm watching one video and then I'm putting my phone down and seeing what that does, because you don't then want to end up just watching more YouTube videos. So find an inspiring gardener just to watch one video of theirs to see whether that breaks you out of your procrastination. So the fifth and final one is just going and sitting in the garden. And this is something that Jess Sowards from Roots and Refuge talks about a lot, is that every garden needs a chair for the gardener just to sit in. It's just spending time having a look at the garden. Now, something that I will often find is that I'll think that, like a recent example for me, is that I was feeling a bit low because I thought my tomatoes were on the decline. They should be, it's the middle of winter. However, I thought that were on the decline because I thought all the flowers were kind of dying instead of turning into fruit. And actually, while I was filming one of my videos, I actually noticed that all of those flowers had actually had little fruit in them, so they were actually producing still. But I suspect maybe it's getting a bit chilly for them. I'm not too sure because the flowers, where are some of the flowers? I see that the flowers are on some of them, only some of them. Oh no, they're actually doing all right. And it was just that I hadn't looked closely enough. I hadn't spent enough time in my garden recently to actually notice that. And so sometimes you might feel like something in your garden isn't working. But if you actually spent some time out there, not doing anything, just being in the garden, you might actually realize that it's actually not as bad as you thought it was. I mean, just spending time outside helps you feel better. So at worst, it helps your mental health. But it can also lead on to, oh, okay, I might just weed this bed. I might just thin out my carrots. I might just do whatever the thing is. So just sitting in your garden can actually be a really great thing to do. So there you have the 5 things that I will often do in order to beat procrastination. If you have some other ideas on how to do that, then please do put them below. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope to see you again soon.